All right, so here's the time of the show. Is it time to roll over and consider a new business? Is it time to consider a boring business? Is it time to stop creeping out in the DMs? Okay, yes sirree, it's Friday. It's Friday in the morning loop, and we're back at it here, rocking and rolling on a morning show. Mornings in Live with Keith, John, Marty, and I'm off half the screen with our special guest, David Sowers, today, the CEO of Royal Restrooms. And we got a special guest coming up today as well, Brooks Swidar, joining us for In the DMs, center stage. Are you guys creeping out in the DMs? Too many guys are creeping out on the DMs over on LinkedIn, and we're going to talk about it today with Brooks Swidar. We're going to also talk with David Sowers about, hey, boys, is it time to leave your old business behind? And we're not talking about the shitter. No, is it really time to wake up and go, I think I want to do something else? And the power of boring businesses. Today, Mornings in the Lab, myself, John, Marty. And without further ado, I got to bring the boys on the stage right now because I can feel the energy emanating, oh, there's the word this morning, emanating from the old back rooms of the Mornings in the Lab studio. And we got the boys here this morning. Good morning, boys.
What is going down? I got to tell you.
Emanating?
Good morning, guys.
Emanated. Johnny, what are you thinking, man?
I'm thinking that I've been waiting for this day. I've heard about this dude who has these amazing Cadillac type shitters.
Yes.
And I've actually, out of love, nicknamed David Sowers Mr. Shitter. And I get to meet Mr. Shitter today because I'll tell you, you're talking to a guy who over the course of the last 30 years, I've probably taken at least 3 times more dumps, maybe 5 than the average human being. So I have a kinship with this man. I haven't even met him yet.
We are pleased to have David Sowers in the lab this morning. Sowers, how do you want to respond to that from John Anderson first thing this morning, my friend?
He already told me he was 3 up on me this morning, so I believe it. I don't need to necessarily verify that. I'm good with him telling me it's good to go. But you were supposed to send me his address so I could send him some purple toilet paper, but
you know what? You're right. I have his address on my phone here. I'll get that over to you today so we can take care of the deep cleavage of John Anderson. But we know that John likes to use the old bidets.
Yeah, I was going to say, once I experienced the bidet, I was like, you know what? Every toilet in both houses need bidets because I'm just not the same with, I guess you'd say, a dry wipe. It's just not the same.
So I can't disagree with this. I have the bidets in my house too, and if you guys have not, it's a little.
Thank you.
It's
keep
a little,
going, brother. Yeah,
get used to it. But man, I tell you what, that's the best 2 minutes you got right there. That's.
I'm doing it wrong. I'm only good about 30 seconds. I got to be a little more patient.
I just hit it and I just sit back. I just all right. I don't even look at the phone. It just stops.
Oh, man.
There you go. So you spend the best 2 minutes of your life hanging out in the Royal Restrooms with Sowers equipment, or you can spend the first 90 minutes of your morning with myself, John, Marty, and our guest, David Sowers, today for Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends here. The only morning show to help you guys get your day started, to help you guys hit those big, audacious goals and help you guys be accountable to the next. And hey, just a reminder, this is an explicit show if you haven't heard already. So there might be some F-bombs, S-bombs, any kind of bomb landing inside of the show today. If you have children, I encourage you to put the headset on or walk them out of the room. Hey, just a heads up, guys, around the table today, Marty's got the old traditional Beats headset on. He's got a nice white, less brunches, more crunches t-shirt on. I got the black hat, night glasses, and good John Barbados jacket on. Johnny's wearing his black glasses and a nice red hat. And we got Sowers hanging out with the nice purple shirt, nice hairstyle today. Got some black headphones on, rock and roll this today. And hey, good morning, good time. Thanks for joining us here in the lab. We always love having you in here. You are a consistent streaker. Speaking of streaks, guys, I just got to get something off my chest about streaks. So I got up this morning, went for a run. I never go for a run outside. The first time in my life, boys, went for a run outside today. I went for a run outside, and I ran towards failure. I hated every fucking second of it, but I did it. So there you go. Boom, check that off. But more importantly, guys, I logged into my Peloton app that I've been using for 8,000 years. And I recognized and realized that on Sunday when I went for a walk with my lovely wife, love you, Lauren, I forgot to log it in my app. So my streak of 18,000 days ended on the weekend.
Oh, mercy. Oh, mercy. What are you doing, brother? Come on.
Sounds like first world problem there.
It's funny, David, because I reflected upon it. I beat myself up for about 8 seconds. And then I said to myself, okay, business athlete, teach yourself to begin again. Listen to what John would say. It's okay. Just got to begin again. Just got to go again. The loop.
What did you learn from the situation?
I learned that I was not present in my own brain on Sunday when I went for a walk with my lovely. But you know what the funny thing was, Johnny, is I knew something was hanging over my shoulder for the last 5 days and I couldn't figure it out. And I was like, something's missing. I logged in today. I was like, that's what it was. And it's funny how you just know about that. But anyways, I broke my streak. And if you guys all got streaks and not in your underwear, because if you got streaks in your underwear, you haven't cleaned it out in the bidet or you haven't spent any time in the royal restrooms. But hey, we're talking streaks. If you broke a streak, it's okay to restart, right, John Anderson? Let's talk about that for a second, because the power of the streak, but the power of recognizing when it breaks, you mentally fucking get in your head, man. Talk about that, Johnny.
Here's the thing. Everything is good. You make a mistake, you learn what not to do again.
Yes.
You don't make a mistake, you get deeper into your groove and you keep getting better. It's all a perspective. Everything is good. There's a silver lining to everything. A mistake is just an opportunity. A problem is a challenge as well as an opportunity. It's all about how you frame, how you look at what's going on around you.
There you go. There you go. So what do you think about that, Sowers?
Hey, you did something different. You tried something different. You went outside. You ran outside instead of using the machine. Just because you do something different doesn't mean it's wrong, and it doesn't mean that you didn't learn something. So, I mean, there's two positives right there. Be grateful.
It's funny how but we quickly roll to the negative though, right? Like in my head, I was, shit, I broke my streak and I was beating myself up about it. And I bring it up here this morning because I think it's relatable to people tuning in, right? They're like, okay, I'm getting up, doing my thing, or I slept in this morning and we break a streak, but we don't know how to get out of that. So I wasn't expecting to talk about as much as I did this morning, but it was bothering me. I'm like, nah, fuck, I broke my streak, but I got to restart it again. So we restart the streak, and I restarted here this morning with you guys.
You restart the streak a little bit smarter than you were during the last one.
That's right. That is absolutely right. That's absolutely right. Hey, so I got something for you guys to put on the table this morning during the morning loop. The first 15 minutes of the day that's unpredictable and you don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. And I'm going to keep it safe today, guys. Harvard did an 85-year study that revealed the number one key to happiness. Yes. And I see Sowers thinking about this. David, when I say this, what comes to mind for you, David? Because it might be as obvious as we think it is. What do you think, David?
I'm going to go right back to grateful. It is hard to continuously be positive and energetic, but being grateful, it resets your mind and it makes you think about the wonderful things. And it really changes that entire attitude from the negative connotation that you want to jump to. But if you stay positive about something, it's, you know what, we didn't tighten the lug nuts on the tire, we didn't clean the thing, but you know what, nobody got hurt, everything went fine, nobody even noticed. We're grateful that everything went off without a hitch. And I think when you change that mindset, it really strengthens that just that overall happiness.
Talking my language, brother. Talking my language.
And David, Johnny showed up here a couple of days ago. Marty, I'm going to come to you about this question. What do you think is the number one thing for happiness? But Johnny showed up on the show a couple of days ago, and he was a little bit out of sorts. And I recognized that I didn't finish my gratitude loop yesterday. And I'll speak on behalf of Johnny here, but I went through my day, Johnny, and you're like, something was missing, and you didn't fully set your moment of gratitude on Wednesday, that one day of the week here, and you found yourself wrestling anxiety throughout the day, Johnny.
About 10 o'clock, I realized something is not quite locked in.
Yeah.
And then I realized I started backtrack a little bit and did a little inventory. Normally I do inventory first thing in the morning, do it in the evening. But I thought, you know what? I need to check the shit out right now.
Yes.
And I realized, wow, I didn't get myself all the way set into that mental place where I need to be. And I made it from 3 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock in the morning. It put me in a different mental space, or kept me in a different mental space, because my brain always starts off the doom and gloom. That's why I have a second alarm that goes off that tells me, okay, snap out of this shit.
Yes. Hey, we got a comment from the side here, guys. Marty, Johnny, we're gonna be happy with this one. Cosmic Vision gets up and says, I'm about to hit the treadmill. Thanks again,
go, baby.
Motivation, guys. That's awesome. Cosmic, what you're doing is the whole reason we've started the show, to help you guys get up and go, fuck, I got to get going here. So Cosmic is out doing a run here this morning, and we got Good Time, obviously, as well. We got Jacob in the comments. We got So Young joining us here today. Oh, So Young, always good to have you here. I owe you a chat here along the way. But Marty, what do you think, according to Harvard here, the Harvard study, what do you think was the number one thing that profoundly mattered when it comes to happiness for human beings?
It should be gratitude. I think that's the number one thing for sure. You got to realize, like, a lot of times when we go through stuff, we focus on what's wrong. We don't focus on what's right.
Yes.
Yeah, one thing going wrong, you might have some issues at work, but you got a beautiful family. You might be fit. You might have a ton of things, great things going on in your life, but you focus on that one thing. You think your life is crashing and burning, and it's really not. And the thing that you're focused on is more than likely fixable. There's probably a solution to it.
That's it. So this study started in 1938, boys, and the study was finally able to reveal the one thing that profoundly mattered when it comes to happiness in human beings. And the one thing that these folks recognized as they've aged in this big ass study was social fitness was the number one thing to keep human beings.
Define that. We could take that a lot of different directions. What's the definition of social fitness?
Absolutely, Johnny. So personal connection creates mental and emotional stimulation, which are automatic mood busters, while isolation is a mood buster. The reality was loneliness is killing us as we age, fellow human beings. So as we age, to divine and to wrap our arms around happiness, we want to continue developing that social fitness as we go through our life. This Harvard study started in 1938, and the reality was we need to keep human beings around us. Johnny?
Social fitness does not include social media for human contact, correct?
Correct. The surprise.
Okay, let's define that right now. So people think, oh man, I see people all day long. No, dipshit. You need to see someone that you can touch.
Yeah, man, I'm with John. That's social happiness, and trying to mentally prepare yourself for every day, just to present that positive attitude, and going out, being in front of employees and people it's hard. It's mentally exhausting, and I can say when I go home, I want to knock off. It's hard to stay with that social interaction and continuing to go that extra mile when you put so much energy into doing everything every single day. So that's a hard one. That's very difficult.
So if you want to keep yourself young, folks, keep yourself with that social fitness and keep connected to human beings. We're going to come back to this topic hopefully later on in the hour here. But what we're going to do right now, guys, is we're going to transition to the accountability check-in, and then we're going to come back with Brooks Swadar for Center Stage, a special topic. Men, you got to stop creeping out the chicks in the DMs. I'm telling you, you got to stop creeping them out. We'll be back in 2 minutes with Brooks Swadar. But first, we are going to do this.